After the terrible disaster that befell in the Stardust discotheque, it was actually 1981, I think, and wrote this song and recorded it, and then all kinds of interesting things started to happen. The song got banned, and there was all kinds of stuff went down, but even though it was banned, we never stopped playing it for about 10 years. And it's called They Never Came Home, and it was inspired when a program done on RTE back at the time of the fire, when the families had been interviewed, and this woman who lost 3 daughters in the fire, she just simply said, I waited, and they never came home. And that's where the song came from. St. Valentine's Day comes around once a year. All their thoughts turn to love as the time that draws near. Sweethearts and darlings and husbands and wives pledge love and devotion for the rest of their lives. As day turns to evening, soon night time comes on. Young people prepare for the Valentine's ball. As the night turns to laughter, still families mourn the 48 children that never came home. Down to the Stardust they all made their way, and the bouncers stood back as they lined up to pay. The records were spinning, there was dancing as well. How the fire started, there's no one can tell. In a matter of seconds, confusion did reign. The room was in darkness, fire exits were chained. The firefighters wept, they could not hide their sorrow and anger for those still inside. Have we forgotten the suffering and pain, the survivors and the victims of the fire in Artane? Mothers and fathers forever to mourn 48 children that never came home. And all around the city the bad news had spread. There's a fire in the Stardust, there's 48 dead. Hundreds of boys and girls injured and maimed, and all just because the fire exits were chained. Our leaders were shocked and group statements were made. They shed tears as the bodies were laid. But the injured were left for 10 long years. It seems like our leaders shed crocodile tears. Have we forgotten the suffering and pain, the survivors and the victims of the fire in Artane? Mothers and fathers forever to mourn the 48 children that never came home. There was millions paid out in barristers' fees, and a fortune to the owner, Butterlee. But in Poppintree and Cabaret, Coolock and Artane, the injured were abandoned time and again. The days turned to weeks and the weeks turned to years. Our laws favour the rich, or so it appears. A mother still waits for her kids to come home. Injustice breeds anger, and that's what was done. Let us remember the suffering and pain, the survivors and the victims of the fire in Artane. Mothers and fathers forever to mourn the 48 children that never came home.